Hey, oh, how you doing? Hope you had a great weekend. Let me get this out of the way. I didn't want to do that. Oh my gosh. I struggled so much with this program. Oh my gosh. I'm really screwed up. Okay, let's go back to this. Whew. Okay, it didn't break. This program, I love this program because it has so many options. But because it has so many options, it's so easy to get it screwed up. And of course, this is SDRuno, and I'm running my RSPDX with my Megaloop antenna. And what happened on my setup, I'm down in my workshop, and sometimes known as my radio shop. What happens is I like this new, it's not new, as a matter of fact, it's quite old, plugin called Cloudmarkers. It hasn't been updated in quite a long time. You can do a sync here and load the latest database, but it's still the program. And the program has a bug that really can mess things up. And luckily I didn't mess it up down here. I don't know why it didn't get messed up. But what happened on my setup upstairs is I had this running and I closed it down with this plugin installed. And when you do that, it saves the SDRuno INI file, which is the configuration file of all the settings and everything. And when it does that, under Cloudmarkers, it puts an entry that the next time you run it, Cloudmarkers won't show up on the screen. This thing right here, it's running, but it won't show up, so you can't see this listing. I did some research and I found out that it makes that mistake and corrupts the INI file for the SDRuno program. I found one person that said you don't have to delete it, because when you delete that file, you're basically starting over and all your settings are gone. And this other person said that if I just delete this one entry in that file and then resave it, it will fix the problem. I tried that, it didn't work. So I said, okay, I really want to use this program. It's really an add-on, plug-in. I'll get it right in a minute, because it's really neat. And it's much better than Fran. So what I did on my setup upstairs, I deleted or renamed, so it couldn't find it, the INI file for SDRuno, which means it came up kind of like a blank screen. Not totally blank, but it didn't have the configuration that I had set up. So I had to reconfigure. In other words, I had to go load in these databases again off my PC and some other things. I had to put the scanner back in, which I had forgotten how, so I had to look that up. And I got it working. So I thought, well, let me fix the one down in my workshop that is connected to my best antenna, which is the Megaloop. And I came down here, and this one wasn't messed up. I don't know why, because I had run Cloudmarkers and saved. And what the suggestion is before you shut the program down, to over here in plugins, to click on Cloudmarkers and unload, you don't have to click on it, just unload all plugins. And then when you shut down, it doesn't write the file for this plugin in the INI file, destroying the INI file. Like I said, I ran this plug-in down here, and I saved it without unplugging it, so we say, and it didn't corrupt anything. So maybe this was a later version of SDRuno that fixed that, or maybe it's a later version of Cloudmarkers. But from now on, I'm going to try to remember not to have this plug-in running when I shut down. Now, I also tried to get it so that everything fit on the screen, and I wasn't quite able to. As you see, I've moved this over as far as it'll go, so I'm missing a lot of data here, but I don't really need that right now because I'm using this to give me the information about what's on this frequency that it's scanning. All I need is my databases that I have available over here so I can load them. Anyway, oh gosh. Okay, so bottom line, I got it working, and I got Cloudmarkers working, and the solar flux index, the last time I checked, which was yesterday, it's not today, was very good. I had a high solar flux number. The A number was down, and the K number was way down. So we should get good reception. And according to this waterfall, it looks pretty good. The noise is not too bad, and we do have some strong signals. And like WWV, I'll unmute it, and we see if we can hear the female voice. Coming in loud. Okay. Okay, I don't know if you could hear it, but I could hear it pretty clear, the female voice, which is transmitted out of Hawaii, and I'm in Florida, so that means conditions are pretty good. Now, you can also see I have previously clicked that WWV at 5 megahertz, and when you do, it shows up here on the screen. You can also change the color of the marker if you want to. So let's do a little scan here for a few minutes and see what we find. So here we go. I've got the squelch pretty high. Here we go.
Si la mano de Dios estaría con Javes, ¿con quién debía estar?
Okay, whoop, I gotta stop. Let me change the, mute here. We changed the scanner configuration. I got it hold time pretty short, so let's change that to 10 seconds. Maybe 15 seconds, so we can actually have time for me to react and stop if I want to. Okay, I gotta hit enter. That's another quirky thing. When you enter a number like here, if you don't hit enter, it doesn't take it. So just know, like I say, this is a complicated program. It's got so many features. And now we've made it more complicated by adding this plugin. So and what you want to do on scan, if you want to continue where you left off, you have to hit pause. If you hit stop to listen to a station, it's going to reset back to the beginning of the database. And it's using this database right here, which is my EIBI above 5 megahertz on antenna B. Okay. where were we? Okay, we're going to scan some more for a few minutes and watch this over here. And if I see one I like, I'll try to mark it.
Estados disponibles las 24 horas del día.
Probably this one. That's Preacher Man, which is, I think, WRMI maybe. Now, let me just stop for a second. Let me pause. Now you can see
call 1-800-338-3030 to make your
over
reservations
here,
for this Sunday at Faith
it
Center.
shows you
That's
all the
1-800-338-3030
possible frequencies or stations around the frequency it's on. See, it actually stopped at 5932. And I can, although I don't want to, I can load Fran, and it will give me on the screen, all of the stations at a given frequency. But it clutters it up, and if I expand it so you can read that, then I lose my marker, red marker here. Now what I can do, although it's kind of cut off, is I can go to 5932 in the database, try to.
Write to Pastor Scott at
Oh, I passed it.
1615 South Glendale Avenue, Glendale, California, 91205,
59.
United States of America.
5932, so it must be this one. And I'm going to highlight that one. And then I'm going to scroll over because I've shrunk this down so much. And that says that that's at 32 is a Russian spy station. I think that's what it is. So I really don't want that in the database. So what I'm going to do eventually, and here's another one right here, is when my friend, I believe his name's John, I have a terrible memory, so if your name's not John, I apologize, creates these databases for me. And what he does is he takes, let me mute this, is he takes the EIBI database, which is huge, of all the things that are on shortwave. And it's got multiple entries for a given frequency. Just like over here, we have all these entries for the same frequency. And if you leave all those in when it scans using that database, it takes forever because it's going to stop on this one, this one, this one, this one. So what he does, he's a whiz at Excel, is he takes the Excel file and he deletes everything except the first entry. And so, like for instance, on this group here, if that was in there, which apparently it is, he would only have remaining this entry. So he would lose this one here. But since I'm running Cloudmarkers, it has it in there. So the scan will go a lot faster. Now, what I need to do is when he gets me a new one, and there's a new database coming out soon, and he'll generate that sub set of frequencies. What I need to do, because I've been so lazy, is I need to take that database and I need to, and I'll have to do it manually, I need to delete all these entries I don't want, such as spy numbers and other things, you know, data and stuff like that. I'm sure he could do it much quicker because he's a whiz at Excel, but I'm grateful that he does the other one, which takes out all the duplicates. That's, to me, a big boom. So I will be doing that, and as soon as he does the new one when it comes out, and that will make the scan using that database even faster. So these are all the ones, not all of these, but a lot of these are the ones that he created for me over the years. Let me see if I can show you some more. Yeah, here's some more that I have done something to it. Like, for instance, one of the things I do with the file he makes for me is he does it and he leaves in the entire frequency range in the original EIB database, which starts at, I think, 2 megahertz. So I sometimes create a file where I chop off everything below 5, because if you start at 2, you're going to get a lot of data. You're going to get the amateur bands and stuff like that. So again, it takes a long time to scan. All right, enough babbling. Let's just show this guy in action here again. I'll start it back up.
Look at the writer of the book. Let me give you a little background.
So that's really 5.930.
The first book of the New Testament, usually, unless you're looking at older.
But there's something.
Manuscripts that maybe are in the early.
Pause. I got to talk. I'm sorry. So there's something in this database that caused it to stop at. Now it's already moved on to 5.933. Probably a data channel or one of these Russian spy number channels. So I don't want it to stop at that. One of the things that he suggested, and I don't know exactly how to do it, he suggested that I have it scan at a 5 kilohertz rate. I'm not sure how to do that. Let me see if it's under scanner configuration. Start. Yeah, he said to change this to instead of 12, no, 1.2 megahertz, change it to 5 megahertz. And I haven't tried that yet. That's all. I just haven't tried. Okay, let's close this down. Okay, I'm going to scan for a few more minutes so you can see how this thing works. And like I say, okay, in this group, one that I would be interested in is, say, Radio France at 5925. So I can click on that, and there it shows up. And it uses the color that's in this database, which, like I said before, you can change this color. This database, I believe, is the EIB database plus user added entries. And I don't remember, I looked it up, but the color code means something, and I forgot what it means. Now, for instance, we could choose that one, and then see it shows you all the parameters. And you could come down here and edit, or you can vote. I'm not sure what the vote does, but you can vote to say, you know, you like this channel. So let me just edit, and I'll show you the options maybe. Okay, so here's all the things you can change. So I'm trying to see. Where you change the marker. Tuning parameters. Don't know what that means. Oh, it's yeah. Close that. Close that. There we go. Okay, so we can have it be a shared marker so that everybody gets to use it, or you can just have it be your marker and it's only visible to you. I thought, oh boy, I thought somewhere you could change the color of the marker, but I don't see that right now. I don't see it. I could have swore you could. Maybe the color is the mode. All right, I'll look that up later. Anyway, okay, we'll cancel this because I don't want to screw it up. So we'll scan a few more seconds. I keep saying that and then I go babbling. I'm sorry.
That, but it would be analogous. Matthew's call to follow me, Christ's words to him, might be analogous to taking a modern-day current criminal, incarcerated, and elevating him immediately into a position of prominence within.
See, it's stopping on these extra entries on the database because the signal, the side signal, is strong enough. So there's really nothing there. For instance, I missed it anyway. For instance, when it was on 5980, it showed there was nothing in the database here because this database probably doesn't have all that digital stations and Russian spy number stuff in it. Okay, I think that's enough. All right, mute here. I just want to show you that I got this working. Like I say, I'm going to make sure that I plugins, cloud, unload all plugins. So theoretically, that shouldn't corrupt that INI file. Maybe in this setup, it doesn't do that, but I'm not going to risk it because if you have to delete that file, then you got to do all this setup. And that's not a big deal. It's just I forgot how to bring up the scanner screen here. I had to go look at a YouTube video to figure out how to do that. I wish some of these screens, windows, some of these windows were more adjustable. Like I've got room as far as the data to shrink this down some more so it lines up with this one. But I can't. And I moved this one over and this one over so I could have room for that Cloudmarkers, which takes up a lot of room. Ideally, I would add a second monitor to this computer, and I think I could move some of these windows over to the other monitor so I can expand them. So I could put that Cloudmarkers over in a separate monitor and then expand these back out so they look a little better instead of all crunched down like this. Anyway, I want to thank the gentleman that creates the database for me. He's very knowledgeable on Excel, and it looks like right today, at this moment, I'm in Clearwater, Florida, and it's 7:30 in the morning on April 1st. Shortwave band conditions are very good. Low noise, high signals, that's great. The noise level now is down to about minus 100. That's excellent. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, I wish you would. And have a great day. Bye-bye.